Hi guys and welcome. So I'm having internet problems most of the morning. Um, so I'm hoping that this live actually takes. The last one didn't for some reason. And it could be because of my connectivity with my internet. I'm not sure. But let's just go ahead and hope that this one works out okay. If not, I have to apologize because not much I can do, unfortunately. So anyway, and of course now it's later in the day, so you're going to hear.
So anyway, and of course now it's later in
Hang
the day.
on. There. Had to make sure that was muted. Sorry. It's later in the day, so of course everyone's up in the family. So you might hear noises in the background. You might hear people getting ice from the refrigerator because my stamp room is off of the dining room and kitchen, so all the noise echoes back to me. So anyway, and why didn't my title change? Hang on, let me see something. Why didn't it? Did I not save it? Because it's saying that it's. Let me go back. It's saying that it's the Color Me Crazy series. Why? It's saying that it's saved here. I'm not sure why. It's just, I tell you. I don't know. I'll change it afterwards, guys, because it's not Color Me Crazy. This is chapter. Maybe I didn't do it here. Designer. And also, I'm not putting the camera on me today. I did have my infusion on Wednesday, so a little bit not so much under the weather, but just a little bit not up to par. So I'm just gonna save it this way. All right, and I don't think the title will change till afterwards, so you'll just have to bear with it. Sorry, it's just been one of those weekends, you know. Let's see. All right, I don't know why it won't change. Maybe it's because I didn't change it completely before I left. Anyway, let's just get on with it. So let's talk about designer series paper, or DSP as people call it. DSP can be found in, let me go back out here a little bit. There we go. DSP can be found in different publications. Okay. The main one, of course, is our annual catalog, and it starts on page 128 and 129. So what's unique about Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper, now all these images are copyright Stampin' Up!, of course. What's different about Designer Series paper is that for Stampin' Up! It's two-sided, and we'll get to that in a minute. I want to show you the catalogs first so you can see where you can find the Designer Series paper. And of course there's Designer Series paper on online exclusives, but I can't really show that to you. So anyway, from pages 129 through 133, you can see our selection of Designer Series papers. Okay, Designer Series papers at this time come in two sizes, two types of packages, either 12 by 12 or 6 by 6. Also, Designer Series papers come at different price points, because you do have some that are the basic Designer Series papers, which are going to be at this time $12.50 a pack. You do have some that are considered specialty, And let me see, I don't know, do we have, I don't think we have any specialty ones in the main catalog, because those are a little higher price point. Those are usually, I think, 15 some. Let me double check. All right, I don't see it there. So let's go to the mini catalog. So the mini catalog, if you go to the back of the catalog, you'll see your designer series paper. And so you can see here, there's some that are $12.50, but then you have some that are, what is that, $16.50, because these have specialty finishes to them. Like this has the gold or the copper on it. This here is the gold. So you have 12 by 12 designer series paper. You have 6 by 6 designer series paper. Then you have what is considered basic, and then you have specialty. So also, oops, sorry about that. Also in our celebration, we have free designer series papers, which free paper is always good, and that's usually what I load up on during celebration. So we have the Sunny Days, we have the Flight and Airy, we have the Softly Stippled, we have the Most Adored. Now this is a specialty one, so this is the one time, because whether you get the Softly Stippled, which is 12 sheets, or you get the Simply Adored, it's still 12 sheets, but this has finishes on it, the gold finishes. And of course you have the wonderful tools. So you have a lot of designer series papers that are in the catalog, the different catalogs, different publications. And like I said, there's also some on the online exclusive. So let's go ahead, let me grab out sorry, let me come over here. I make these little boxes that are designer series paper. Hold my 6 by 6 designer series paper. So here's the 6 by 6. I think above and beyond, the most popular 6 by 6 in the current annual catalog is the inked and tiled, but it's not called that, it's called Ink Botanicals. DSP usually is not named the same as the stamp set that it coordinates with. So as you can see, two-sided. And when you get the 6 by 6, you get more sheets. Because remember, a 12 by 12 can be cut into 6 by 6, but a 6 by 6 can never be made into 12 by 12. Does that make sense? So let's show you here. Here's the Inked Botanicals. So it's $12.50. This is on page 131 of the annual catalog, but it's 48 sheets. So really you're getting the same paper amount, because if you get the 12 by 12 sheets, you get 12 sheets. Let me bring this up so you can see a little bit better. So here's 12 by 12s. You get 12 sheets. When it's the 6 by 6, you get 48 sheets. So you're getting the same amount of paper. It's just the size difference. Okay? So I would say far and away, this is the most popular right now, 6 by 6. We also have the 6 by 6 size in our color families. So that's also nice. So you can see there that lots of sizes. We also have, let me see, we have, let me not go into those. All right, let's talk a little bit about the 6 by 6 size. Like I said, it's a good size to use. Designer series paper is two-sided, and usually they will either be very coordinating or there'll be a little bit of a contrast. But all of the pages together in the pack coordinate. And of course they always tell you the colors that are featured in your 6 by 6 or designer series paper. What I also like about this is that if you're making a card fold, so let me go ahead and bring out my trimmer real quick. If you are doing, so let's say we want to make this as part of our a fold on our card. So I'm going to cut it down to 5 1/4. That way it's like a layer. Then I can score, because you want it to be 4 to go across if you're going to layer it on a card, right? So here you can put that, and I don't know if I have a card base around already ready. Here's one, not a good color. But you can see that you could layer your DSP and show both sides of that paper at once. If you don't like that color scheme, flip it around. So it's a good way to show both sides of your paper on a card. Now, when you rip DSP, let me take this out of the way because of that white background. When you rip DSP, I always rip it towards me. And you're going to see, you're going to see that when you rip DSP, it is not, you know how our cardstock we talked about in chapter 1, our cardstock is colored all the way through. DSP is not. So when you rip it, you're going to get a white edge. Sorry, I'll quit moving so it focuses. Let me get my hand out of the way. So see how there's that white edge. Now the side you cut, here's the other side. But if you don't cut it towards you, can you see how that is not colored? So this is how it was. So as I'm tearing it towards me, this side's going to be white. The part that's underneath is also going to be white. So you just have to remember that. If this is the top of your card and you want it to be white, you have to tear it towards you. Alright, so there's a little bit about that. Then of course we have, let me come over here. Let me show you some other DSPs that are currently, oh, this is one that's carrying over. I bought a lot of this because I was afraid it wasn't. So, Winter Meadow. You're not going to find this in either of the catalogs right now because it was from the August to December, or was it September to December? I don't know. It was in the mini catalog that just retired. Sorry for the glare. But it's being carried over, which is very unusual. There's only been one other time before in recent history that I can remember that a DSP was carried over from one publication to another, because usually it all retires. But here's one from the mini catalog, and this is one of those ones that's a specialty look. So you can see how it's shiny on the one side, and then it doesn't have a specialty look on the back side. Now with this, sometimes when you tear this, you're going to have the white core. Sometimes you're not. I think most of the time, and I'm going to do this. Oh good, I'm not a liar. So you can see I'm tearing it towards me. I'm getting that white edge. And even though it has that special addition, that a layer to it, that metallic, it's still going to tear across white. Alright, but here's a look, or this would be one of the ones that's a little bit more expensive because it has that extra technique embedded in the paper. Alright, so that's Forever Love, and that's our current January to April mini catalog. Alright, then the other one I was going to show you, come over here, sorry. This, I think, so far has been the most popular 12 by 12 in the current mini catalog. Perennial Lavender. Fabulous. 12 sheets. Of course, I've stocked up a little bit more. But this is not, it doesn't have specialty on it. And this one, I don't know why I did this one differently. Maybe because I had so much on there I wanted it to stay shut. But this, as you can see, is your standard DSP. So it does not have that extra technique on it like a foiling or a gold or, oh, one other thing. Let me grab over here. sorry. Just thought about this. We do have one other package in the main catalog. And I forget about this because I hoarded this. I haven't really, oh, maybe it's not. Oh, I'm thinking this is probably an online one because I don't see it in the main catalog. I thought it was in the main catalog. But this is holographic paper. And I think it is an online exclusive. I would have to look. I'm sorry. I didn't think about that. But this is especially, and then of course this, since this is a very labor intensive type of DSP to make. So here you would only get 6 of the sheets. But let me show you. Yes, I'm pretty sure this is in, yes, it's an online exclusive because it kind of matches up to the soda can set. And yes, I've been hoarding it. I actually used it today, earlier. But can you see that? I mean, when I lay it down here on my table, it looks very silver, but you can see the iridescent and the holographic look on it. So you have that sheet. You have this. This is more like a watermark. And then you have this, which looks blue or pink. I mean, blue or reddish, pinkish, violet, depending on what light you look at it. So this is a very, very specialty type paper. I think on the online, I think as far as specialty papers, you have this, and I think the tartan plaid, which is also a fun designer series paper. Let me grab that pack out for you. I just want to get this protected back in here. And a lot of times when they're like this, I don't put them in my little extra plastic holder to keep them safe. All right, let me get, where'd my tart, here's the tart. This is another one that's on in the online exclusive. Tartan foil. It's also only 6 sheets. Because again, it's another very labor intensive DSP. It is double-sided. And what I like about this is the second side, and I don't know if you can see it, but both of these sides have some sort of sheen to them. Let me show you. So here is the tartan side. And can you see? It's shiny. It's almost metallic looking. But if you flip it over, these also have a sheen to them. So this designer series paper, to me, has double coating, double specialty, because both sides have that sheen and shine. So it's a very fun DSP to use. Okay, so DSP. The thing too is DSP is not as thick as cardstock. So when you go to score or fold it, you need to be a little bit careful, because if you score it too hard, it will tear, it will rip. But for the most part, you can use this as a card base, or you can use it as a layer. It works either way, but it is a little bit thinner. It's not that 80 pound that I think our cardstock is. But I am a DSP hoarder, H-O-A-R-D-E-R, hoarder. I do, like, I have, even though I have more of this paper than I'll ever use. So yes, you can see I have 2 full packs here. I'm not going to tell you how many packs I have back on my shelf of this, because I just, this, like the autumn leaves that just got, oh, is that paper coming back? I know the stamp set and the dies are coming back. Not bundled, but they're coming back. I don't think the paper is, the DSP, but I hoarded a lot of that paper too. So that's DSP. Similar to cardstock. You can use it as a layer, you can use it as your card base, but it's a little bit different than some of the designer papers or specialty papers or decorative papers, whatever they call it out in the non-Stampin' Up! World. ours is just a little bit different. I think our finish is better. Like I said, all of ours is double-sided, and it's just color coordinated. They're just, I can't say enough about our DSPs. They're probably, dyes and DSPs are probably the biggest expenditure of me. I buy a lot of stamps, but I really buy a lot of DSP that I never use, that I need to use, that I need to do more classes on and use. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking with me during this live. I'll make sure I get that name changed so you don't think you're watching a Color Me Crazy episode. Have any questions? Shoot me a comment. Send me an email. Most of all, have a great day. Thanks, guys. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.